I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie.
It's closed, eh?
They've even shut off the university at long last. They've acknowledged that we're people.
Seems like it would be hard to enforce nobody coming into Canada. Maybe you guys should build a wall.
And make the US pay for it?
Yeah.
We can just sit on top of it and ask anybody who comes up from the US, don't worry about it.
That's a question?
Or answer anybody who comes up from the US as to what's behind it. Don't worry about it. Until inevitably one of them threatens to fuck us all to death.
Well, that's gonna happen immediately. It's a...
First Bostonian up there.
Well.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right somehow. Yeah, everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, like 2 seconds. Alrighty. So, who remembers what happened last time, guys?
What the fuck did happen? What even happened?
That's an excellent question. My notes are: we got out of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
We
The
brought
ass tree.
the one or several of the Nolans with us. That's still a bit unclear. A solar tried to stop us and failed, so we're going to see him again. And
Oh,
if
yeah,
I recall
for sure.
correctly, we went over to another island to rest, and that's where we left off.
No, we went a little bit further than that. We stopped at an island to rest, had a little bit of downtime, headed to the next island with cult activity, passed by a
lighthouse,
watchtower, lighthouse, something.
Old ass lighthouse, yep.
Had some lights flashing, but we were like, meh, and went past it.
Yep.
Who needs to go to the places where all the best shit is hidden?
And then I think we left off just arriving at the next island and seeing a bunch of people fighting.
Ah, yes.
Yep. And yelling insults at each other, yes. So, we did leave off with you guys just coming in on the southern side of the island. You spy two large settlements on either end of what looks like a strait running through the island, and then a large tower on the southern end of it. Sorry, if there's any awkward pauses, assume it's because I'm coughing.
Oh no, plagued.
No. Do you have the COVID?
I don't think so. I'm like 60% sure it's like a sinus infection or something. But I'm in quarantine right now anyways.
Should we not be in this room? Can it transmit over the internet?
Wipe down your mics. Wipe down your mics.
Oh god.
Why Roll20 has been so shitty over the last few days. You play without giving any fuck. They literally sent me an email about that on Friday. In quarantine, still play Roll20. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Roll20. Like, you're not wrong, but get your shit.
Yeah, true.
Anyhow. Two large settlements, Wizard's Tower. There's two small armies that mostly just look like very large mobs of people who are standing on opposite sides of the Wizard's Tower and shouting at each other. You could hear some very creative insults from the. Could hear some very creative insults as you flew by. There's also a group of robed people going through the middle of it, holding the individual mobs back and trying to diffuse some of the situation. And, yeah. Other than that, the island is mostly scrubby, not many trees, lots of sand, lots of rock. Yeah. So you guys are still in the airship, flying above the and have not yet landed. Is there any preference as to where you would like to land?
I mean,
Clearly
preferably
we
not in the
should-
middle of the feud, but
Clearly, we should split the party. Have 2 people go to the west settlement and 2 people go to the east settlement. Nothing possibly go wrong.
that never goes wrong ever.
You could.
Yeah, I'm much more confident in this idea now. There's just two random groups that are fighting each other, and they're both humans, right? Or humanish.
Primarily human. You'd have another species of humanoids mixed in there. Make a perception check.
Do we have the stop the civil war by nuking them from both from orbit option?
Not unless you
Can't fight a war if actually you can. It's D&D. You can fight a war if everyone's dead.
If you have enough necromancers, yes.
I mean, not unless you can successfully make a peasant railgun, you do not have anything to nuke them from orbit.
I'm sure we can gather
But
a
yeah,
eventually.
the group on the western side of the tower, look much bigger and hairier and muscular than most kinds of humans do. The group on the eastern side of it look almost slimy in a weird way, like not not in like personality or demeanor, but literally slimy. They're covered in some kind of thin layer of slime.
Gross.
I'm
And then the
thinking
people
that means aboleths are involved.
Where does the dowsing rod point?
Tower.
Why don't we just take the airship that way?
Yeah, that seems like an option.
Well, they're fighting like right outside the wizard's tower, right?
Technically, they're not fighting. They're kind of just two.
Well,
They're basically
arguing.
two mobs with riot police in between them. Except
go
in
around
this
the
case,
back.
the riot. Except in this case, the riot police are little weenies in robes.
Does the wizard's tower have like the equivalent of a helipad or like a balcony or something that we can?
It has a small village around the back. It does not have a helipad on it, though.
Yeah.
Well, it
I say we
wouldn't.
go with
You
that.
would have there'd be a balcony near the top. That's all we really need. So that's how you land an airship, like a dirigible. So is what is the top of the tower like?
The top of the tower. Here, 1 second. Why don't I just drop you on the outside the tower? And then forget that I. Cool. Top of the tower is. There are a few windows that you can spot. There are no immediately visible balconies, but there are a few windows that you can spot that are large enough for you to climb through should you attempt to do so.
I say we just land in the village around back, or outside the village rather.
It's right in the village square. We'll do that. Yeah, let's go to the village. Take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can find somebody to tell us what the fuck's going on.
That's always the first step.
Alrighty.
The first step.
Is it? I thought shooting was the first step.
And then questions is the second.
Right.
I should never have given you guys such easy access to resurrection. Yeah. All right. So you guys head back and land outside the small village. A few people look up in mild interest as you come in and give you a wave. One fellow in a set of long robes with graying hair, who's a tiefling, comes out back and waves to you as you waves and waits as your ship sets down.
Gently set the ship down where I'm not landing on anything valuable.
There's plenty of space. You don't have any problem with that. You land in a nice open field around back the village.
Okay.
Go meet up with that guy. He seems to know what he's doing.
He seems like a person who can answer questions.
As in, he acknowledged us.
Yeah. Didn't freak the fuck out when the airship came in. That helps.
None of them did. He's just the one who came out to talk to you. He gives you a wave as you presumably disembark.
Mhm.
All right. You come down the gangway, and he gives you a brief little wave again. Greetings! Who are you? What the hell do you want?
Is it Pretty Boy in the backup band?
Backup party.
Backup party.
Well, that's a fucking name. What do you want?
We came here following rumors of great treasure.
He stares at you and arches an eyebrow. Really?
Was it wrong?
What, and he air quotes, great treasure did you hear about here?
One second, I'm thinking of a suitable lie.
Well, don't take all day.
A magic sword.
Eh. Grandpa might have one of those in the tower.
Grandpa?
If we give it to you, will you piss off?
Probably.
Cool.
Why is everyone fighting?
He just rolls his eyes. Because that's what they do. They're just assholes.
Who are they?
Even assholes usually at least come up with an excuse for why they're fighting.
Well, on one side, and that yes, this is what they call themselves. I can scarcely believe it. Is the orc fuckers.
Oh.
And on the other side,
Orcs in the crowd?
sorry?
Did we see any orcs in the crowd?
No. The people do look surprisingly orky though.
Yeah, it's like now that you mention it, okay, that's that group.
The other one are the I can't believe they call themselves this either. The tentacle enthusiasts. He just like winces to himself.
I thought this wasn't Fuck Island.
It's not.
Did we make a wrong turn somewhere?
Presumably, if you ended up here.
What is this island called then?
Wizard Island.
We went to the magical realm!
Oh my god. Oh no.
We
What have
finally
I
entered
done?
this magical realm! There's orc fuckers and tentacle enthusiasts everywhere!
You find this far too funny.
And
We've been waiting
Who are
forever!
I didn't get your name.
I'm Jan Rog.
Okay. When we're done, do you want to lift off the island?
No, as tempting as that is, I have to stick around with Grandpa.
Okay.
Grandpa is the wizard.
Yeah, you could say that. Give me 20-ish minutes, unless they start trying to kill each other over there. Then give me an hour. And I'll see what magic swords we can find in there, and then then you can go.
Do you mind if we tag along? It's kind of boring here in the ship.
If you must. You can't come inside the tower, though. Grandpa might get mad. If he notices. He shrugs.
That old?
Sorry?
Is it that old?
Older.
Giving, like, Diggory a look.
Mm.
Does he just go by Grandpa?
I mean, he's not actually my grandpa. He's my great 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 grandpa.
Is he a lich or something? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Wizards.
I mean, there's a few things wrong with the Lich, but
He
Well,
just
if it's
shrugs. Not a lich, just old. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes, especially out here, magic does weird shit.
That
That's
is
fact.
an understatement.
And of course, none of us can fucking learn about it because Grandpa doesn't like that.
Why?
He gestures off into the distance, little ways towards the slope, towards a slope leading up into the village from the nice wide field in which you've landed. He tends to express his displeasure with it explosively.
We think your grandpa may have anger issues.
He's old. What kind of old person doesn't? Besides, it keeps the orc fuckers and tentacle enthusiasts from killing each other most of the time.
Is that really a good thing?
I don't know. Anyhow, you want to come into the village? Come on in. Well, one of us will give you some beer or something.
Nice.
Let's follow.
You can hear loud insults in the distance get slightly louder as you head further on into the village. And it's a pretty simple place. Everywhere in here is distinctly magically constructed. Where they're distinctly magically constructed. Between the perfectly straight and flat walls of stone for every building, the suspiciously perfect shaped portals in every wall, or just the general order of the whole place You even notice a small tavern that looks exactly like every other tavern you've seen that was created with the Create Tavern spell.
Really need to work on that Diggeroy.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You can have it as soon as I actually write stats for the spell.
As soon as it technically exists.
Exactly. Alrighty. And Jan looks at the group, looks at the four of you. As you all come up to the edge, to the small outbuilding on the edge of the tower. Just wait here. Be back in 20. You hear fighting around the front, do us a solid and go help. Just stop them from killing each other somehow. If things start exploding, try not to get caught in them.
Okay.
That we are decent at.
Cool.
Just watching him go, slowly looking to Diggeroy. These islands keep getting weirder. And that is us saying it.
Well, these are the wildlands.
Wilderness is not as weird.
You said it. A wrinkled looking old man with long white, very thin hair appears behind the group of you with a familiar grin on his face.
Is this mumbly old guy?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You
Is this the first
thought
time we've heard him talk?
I've heard him talk before, but
This might be the first time he had coherent words.
Well, to y'all.
It's true.
He points at you back, Bauer. You thought things were going to be weird when you were out in the normal parts of the world. Now you're in my the woods.
Wait, what do you mean thought? Because it kind of was.
this
Now you're
honestly
my next word.
makes more sense
It's
to
going
us.
to be so much fun.
You have a strange definition of fun.
Maybe. I've been called a lot of things. Mad. Strange. Maybe just those things. Insane. Crazy. Nah. Doesn't matter. Every word you can think of to call somebody something, I've been called it at one point or another.
Then
Helpful.
what do you call you?
I'm just me. You don't get that little secret just yet. His grin stretches a little bit wider.
Sigh.
Have you ever been called helpful?
Now, that is one thing I never have been called. I just showed up to fuck with you all a little bit. I do so enjoy our chats. Maybe I'll send my son your way later.
You procreated. Deadpan.
Rude.
Yes. I hope you enjoy his tender affections. Bye.
Just like in response, it was just a Met Excalibur face.
I'm not sure I want to know what sort of tender affections he's talking about as run an island of orc fuckers and tentacle enthusiasts.
Met Excalibur face.
Yep. Sometimes I need to think things through more before I say them. But, it's canon. It's canon now. Too late.
This is an established fact of the universe.
Mistakes were made.
Oh, not the son part, just the unfortunate implication of tender affections on this island.
That's what happens when you have us enter your magical realm, David.
It's not the fucking magical realm.
You can't say it's the wizard island when it's full of orc fuckers and tentacle enthusiasts.
Anyhow, putting aside any discussions of magical realms, Yonrog wanders out of the tower again. Here, sword. Behold! And he holds up the sword, looking very tired and a little bit annoyed. The sword of underwater slaying. It's good at killing things underwater. And he kind of throws it at the group. He just throws it like in the middle of the four of you, not really caring if it hits any of you. Take it.
Blinks at Diggeroy.
That is a pretty good treasure.
Wait, wasn't the sword supposed to be on the next island? I think there was something else here. An axe, maybe?
Double check your, and he air quotes at you again, treasure notes. You young little shits.
Wait, what are these treasure notes? I definitely think I want some.
Look,
The reason we don't share information with him.
I think we all know that you're not here for magic swords or axes. Who comes out here for magical swords and axes?
I don't know about the souls, but definitely swords.
I said swords.
You had a little, like, a hiccup there in the audio. It sounded like souls.
The sad thing is, it's the opposite, really.
No, that's my bad.
I was gonna say, if I was going for souls, this is actually where I would have
Yeah,
intentionally gone.
Yeah. Also, we are
Grandpa.
technically here for
Alright.
so long.
Grandpa's good at scribing, and he's had centuries to do it, but I don't think he does, he doesn't do much smithing or enchanting these days.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's a shame.
So
Got any
what
dead
do
cleric
you
spirits?
You're going to have to be more specific.
So that's a yes then?
Yes. Well, they're not dead, or technically spirits, I'm pretty sure. But yes. Do I need to pick one at random and throw it at you at the window? Is that what will make you leave?
I mean, you could try it and find out.
We're such. We just need to be bigger shits than everyone else here, apparently.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I'm gonna try something radical here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. All right. So you just want us to go as fast as possible. We're here for Nolan.
Oh. Oh. Well, you really should have just said that in the first place.
Most people react badly when you tell them that.
That's true. Grandpa's been holding on to that one for fucking ever, though.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not sick of him yet?
Oh, he doesn't. No, he doesn't keep him in his head or anything. And he looks suddenly suspiciously at the group of you. Which one of you has a Nolan in your head?
Well, I mean, the last one we ran into was annoying without anybody putting them into their head. Running around all over the place.
Oh, this one's probably better sealed than that. But, he'll have to actually talk to Grandpa. He's very old and very senile and doesn't remember a lot of what's going on. And tends to react murderously to anyone trying to cast magic near him. Hence the crater that you landed your ship in.
Good to know.
Why
Thank
does
you for that.
everyone allow this?
Because he's literally our family.
Everyone's?
Yes. Well, not the orc fuckers or the tentacle enthusiasts, but all of us living around here. He's our oldest remaining ancestor.
I mean, Bauer, you can still speak old man, right?
No, last time I tried, it failed.
Damn.
Generally, if the mind is gone, for the most part, they are no longer family. When the brain dies, things should die.
His brain hasn't died yet, though. He just shrugs. Magic.
But you said he remembers little.
He does. Sometimes. Other times he's more lucid. He is the reason why the two groups of them haven't killed each other yet. Look, Do you want the Nolan or not?
Yep. That's why we're here. Let's go talk to your grandpa.
Yep. Don't get yourselves killed.
We usually try not to.
Usually.
He gives kind of a vague thumbs up to that. So, Rog opens the door, lets you all in, and starts leading you up a spiraling set of staircase. Or spiraling set of staircase. Spiraling staircase to the top of the
Double
tower.
helix staircase. Neat.
To the top
Hell
of the
yeah.
magical realm. Let's
Ooh.
go!
That actually sounds dope. Double helix staircases.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me to put when I'm old and rich. Remind me to put that in my wizard's tower.
Your magical realm got it.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Oh.
Would they connect to the same places, or would you have to know which stair to get on, like, from the ground floor? So it would really suck to like go all the way up one and then realize you got on the wrong one.
I think they'd connect to the same places.
Well, that's much less interesting then.
Oh. Oh, that would be a really good way to fuck with people. I will have to take this under consideration for, 50 years in the future when I'm potentially rich enough to actually afford that. And when society has collapsed and the only way to defend myself is by building a wizard's tower.
The badass
So, like,
staircase.
2 years from now?
Yeah, a couple of years from now.
When we've eaten
Anyhow.
rich.
He leads you up through a series of levels in the wizard's tower, including what looks like a very well-appointed scribing area, a alchemy workshop, and a artificery clockwork automata kind of workshop as well. Before you come to what looks like a mix between a mansion bedroom and a long-term care facility at the top of the tower, with a very, very old-looking man with white hair down to his feet and a beard to his knees, lying in a bed, his eyes faintly glazed over. And his chest barely moving as he just lies there peacefully. There are 3 different windows in this room, all of which face out different directions. One of which is directly overlooking the field on which the 2 different opposing mobs are facing each other. The old man faintly snores away.
This is going to be awkward, isn't it?
We could just check the dowsing rod to find it ourselves.
Please don't steal from my grandfather's home.
Then, you want to wake him up? Would probably be better if it was someone that he knew, rather than a bunch of strangers.
So you want me to do it?
No, I'll do it. Rog walks over to the edge of the bed and gently jostles his grandfather's arm. Grandpa? We have visitors, Grandpa. The grandpa opens his eyes, looks up at Yanrog. Rog! Rog! I had a dream that I was young. Oh, you had to wake me from such a lovely dream. What is it? We have visitors, Grandpa. Oh, lovely. Who are you? What do you want? He sits up in his bed and turns towards the group of you, his beard spilling over. Now that he's sitting up, it is a very nice beard, and surprisingly well kept for how long it is on him. Come now. I'm old, but I don't have all day.
We're here hoping to collect Nolan before the Trinity cult gets him. They've been collecting pieces of him.
Ah. The Earth Dreamer. Yes. Do you bring mark or tribute or reason why I should give him to you?
Mark?
Who's Mark?
A mark.
Well, like I said, the Trinity cult has been collecting pieces of him for nefarious purposes. We are trying to stop them. They are rather persistent. They'll probably cause a mess of your village and island if they get here.
They may certainly try. Nor I, nor the... He rolls his eyes too. Orc fuckers, nor the tentacle enthusiasts, especially care for his kind. Maybe the only way I can get them to, get along, come to think of it. That bears thinking of. Perhaps I shall persuade them. Thoughts for another time. Are you from Trinity?
No, I'm a cleric of the hands.
Neat. What?
I don't know that anybody's reacted to that with just a simple neat.
Neato Petito.
And why, simple cleric of the hands, should I give it to you? What makes you so worthy to bear this piece of one of history's greatest assholes? Frankly, if you will pardon my undercommon.
Well, I've been told I'm a pretty impressive asshole myself.
A fact which only makes me less likely to grant this to you.
Also, Tyr approved it himself, so there's that.
Then Tyr should show up and tell me himself.
Hmm. Hmm. Is there any information I could get from Tyr's wisdom that might convince him?
Roll an insight check. There's a simpler way to do this. He's looking for the old man is looking for a good reason. He's looking for a good reason why you guys or whoever might be taking on the bit of Nolan should be entrusted with it.
Mm-hmm.
He's just looking for you guys to. He's looking for you to persuade him somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that the world is ending?
I lived through one of those. I can manage another. Or teleport my children off this wretched world.
Well, I'm sure you can, but we're kind of trying to stop that. Nolan might be able to help.
Help how?
Power.
I mean, plus this whole thing is partially his fault to begin with. Well, more like his god's fault, but long story.
If it is his fault, even partially, why do you trust him to aid you
Well,
in fixing it?
specifically, it's the part of him that is left after all of these fragments got stripped out. Does that make sense?
Yes. The fact remains. Why trust even a part of him to help you?
Well, because these are the fragments that wouldn't have gone along with it. Hence the need for them to be removed.
Ah. They are not. Who told you that they were the fragments that wouldn't go along with it?
Well, I mean, I guess that's mostly extrapolation, to be honest.
Because the fragment that I keep has always maintained to me that the pieces he ripped from himself were those that he thought were too weak.
Well, yes.
He ripped from himself things like his sarcasm, his childlike sense of wonder, his even some of his higher logic, his happiness, his despair, his madness. Those are the things he left behind.
Those are all powerful things.
Yes. But power is not a solution to everything. Look at me. An archmage who once commanded entirely too much power. Now I'm barely functional most days.
And yet, your solution to the world ending would be to use your power to leave.
It's not a solution. It's a band-aid.
Exactly.
I do not question that the world is ending. I question why it is you group of merry younglings showing up at my door who are the ones to stop it. Why should I trust in you and give you this little piece of a giant asshole? He just shrugs. I haven't heard a good reason for that yet.
Because we are trying and not staying here, leaving it to fate.
And to be fair, there are other people trying to save the world, but most of them are even bigger assholes.
He is not wrong.
Nolan tried too. Back when he left this little piece with me. And he pulls out a glowing green orb from inside his robes. That's what he was trying to do. Fix things. And I am acutely aware of some of the other assholes. Just... don't see the need to only give this to the smallest asshole. We can do better. We have to. So why you? This isn't a question of everybody else being terrible or of you just trying to fix things. Why should I, the Archmage Rog, entrust my support to you for? What do you have that makes you worthy of such trust and faith? Answer me that. That's an open question to all four of you.
Do we really need all of the fragments of Nolan, or do we just need to make sure Trinity doesn't have them?
We don't know.
I think it's mostly the second, to be honest, but the first probably help.
First is a means to an end. I'm wondering if Trinity could get him from this guy either.
I mean, that's a perfectly valid point. Yeah, I'd be fine leaving it with him. Which, yeah, tell him that in character too. We're mostly just looking to keep it from Trinity. If he won't give it to them either, fine leaving it with him.
I'm not. They have proven themselves to be assholes. You four are on the fence, however.
And I can't think of anything specific that I can claim that proves I'm not. That proves that I'm the good guy.
That is impossible to do for one we have just met. But we do not
You
wish
could
for
tell me.
Nolan
You could
as much as we
see-
wish to keep him away from others.
Right. The whole tower is under an enchantment which stops those within it from lying. Speak. If you wish to try. Tell me of yourselves. Tell me why. Or just tell me a story. Your stories. I hear so few these days being trapped in here. I'm lucid like this maybe one day in 20.
Be glad to share a little bit of our stories. Though I just had a thought. You're an archmage.
Yes.
Are you strong enough to break a imprisonment?
Possibly. Probably. Yes.
Excuse me. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the ship and grab the gem.
Just kind of watching him go and then looking back and just kind of giving a shrug. A demon imprisoned his friend.
Demons. Would any of you like to speak while he's gone?
Hold on a second. I'm going to tell him about the fantastic party I set up at the Wicked Spoon.
You're going to have to remind me of that too. Do tell.
I literally, that's all I have written down. It's, I think it was a result of our carousing.
Oh,
Result of what?
you're carousing.
In which city?
Aventine.
Okay.
Pretty sure Aventine.
This must have been a while ago, because the last
Oh, yeah.
times you've been to Aventine, it's just been, you've just stayed at the Dog.
That's true.
God, I'm trying to remember it now. You're just telling him the story, or
Yeah.
anything special with it? Alright. So he listens to your story. Make me a performance check.
Nice.
Nice.
Damn, that was a good party. Feels like he was there.
The mage kind of chuckles along with your telling of the story. That does sound like a wonderful party. I am glad that you had such fun. Oh. Perhaps next day I'm like this, I will have a party of my own. Will you excuse me for one moment? I require... The idiots are getting too loud.
Nod.
He stands up and hobbles his way over to the window overlooking the two mobs, who have noticeably gotten louder since you guys entered. He opens the window and shouts out of it, "Oi! Shut up!" And of course none of them can hear him because he's an old man. So he pulls out a wand, starts casting, and drops 4 meteors.
Oh dear.
2 on either side of the mobs, not harming anybody directly. They abruptly go quiet, look up at the window, see the archmage there, and start filing away. Oh, so sorry.
We understand.
I did enjoy that story. Just unfortunate that a bunch of assholes had to ruin it.
They're
Yeah.
trying to do that a lot.
Yes. And like that, our young friend is back, I believe. And Sadok re-enters with the gem.
I'll show him the gem. Can you help?
Yes. One moment, please. He pulls out his wand, and, taps it against the gem. Devils. I do hate them.
Believe me, I know the feeling.
He begins to chant and mutter under his breath. And runic sigils form in the air around the gemstone, channeling energy into it, until abruptly the cracks begin to form in it, and it abruptly snaps in two, releasing a young human woman who grows to full size.
Watch
She
that.
she is currently prone and unconscious, with a faint little bit of steam rising from her. And how does he do after that? Well, he's still doing okay.
Hooray.
quite some time since I had to contend with devil magic. But, there.
Sorry, what was that last bit?
But, there you go. There
Yes.
she is. He kind of sits down on his bed, seeming a little bit more tired than he was before.
Many thanks to you. We have a strong mage on our ship, but not strong enough to break this spell.
Very few are. Oh.
Well, if Sadok wants to help her out, in the meanwhile, Christona might try to explain the story of the group of them kind of getting together and going around figuring out what other people were trying to do to stop the world ending, and how we found out how much they were varying degrees of assholes, and the pros and cons of their solutions to us. And how we're trying to be not make the same mistakes that have not worked for centuries.
Mm.
Can go the wisdom story route.
Think, do performance?
Nope.
Make a charisma check for me then, please.
This will be great.
You don't do a terrible job of relaying the wisdom story to him.
But it's just
But,
very slow and Cristona-like.
It's very slow. It meanders occasionally.
It's slower than usual because of Nolan.
So it's
Yep.
like an old guy story.
Yes, except you're telling it to another old guy who doesn't have the patience to fully listen to it.
That's fair.
Yes, yes. Quite. You have been on quite a journey. Well, these are entertaining stories. Priest boy.
Look up from
Who is
sitting next
this
to my bed.
woman?
She, there's an enchantment preventing us from lying, he said.
Yeah.
Sure. She was
You
my
can
partner.
make a charisma save if you would like to lie.
I have terrible charisma. I'm not even going to bother trying. She was my partner when I first joined the Left Hand.
An old partner's bond. Commendable. I do approve of those who keep the bonds of partnership like that. Like my children. Then he smiles and gestures to Yonrog. I am so proud of them. So grateful to them for everything they do. Oh.
Are you still looking for more stories?
I will take any stories you are willing to give me. Any that tell me about the group of you, or any that simply amuse. Dark have been my dreams of late.
Tell them about Bauer and I meeting Ramus, and then how we eventually get Tyr's permission to free him and go through Zaylan to do it.
We got permission to do that?
Well, I got permission from Tyr. Or Tyr's Solar, specifically.
He's more or less Tier Solar in charge of Yualia.
But yeah, I got permission before trying to set him free. Well, sort of free. He's on probation.
And why did you go through such trouble for this thief?
Well, he is an idiot. And a dangerous one. But doesn't really seem to be malicious. Just made some poor choices in his past. He's been trapped for long enough, and, well, Realm was lonely. And so she would have come up in the story as well.
Mm-hmm. Make a charisma check with advantage. Performance, if you have it.
Oh.
Ouch.
Ow. Oh.
When it looks like that's about to fall apart, I'm going to interject. Pick up and explain it not badly. Possibly making Ramus sound like a lovable scamp, if I can pull that off too.
Make a... Stroke already has advantage, but what's your Bardic Inspiration dice at right now? D10 still?
D10, yeah.
Alright. Stroke, roll me a Bardic Inspiration, roll me a D10.
Ooh.
Hey!
Hey!
There we go.
Dig her right, dig her right.
So yeah, Diggeroy manages to pick up in parts of your story and help portray Ramus as being a bit more perhaps lovable than he actually is. And the Archmage Rog looks at the pair of you. I see. So you are someone to whom justice, not just the law, but justice is important. Would that be fair?
Of course. The laws exist to serve justice.
Good. You there, pretty boy, with the sword and the shield.
Yeah.
Tell me a story.
So there were these 3 little pigs.
Oh boy.
Preferably about the group of you. Although, if this 3 little pigs story does in fact involve the 4 of you, I do apologize.
So this one time we found this fountain, and it turned out to be a fountain of youth. And so I was the only one that drank from it and became 10 years younger. It was pretty awesome.
Huh. Neat. Where is this fountain? I could
I
use
don't remember.
Where was that fountain?
It was
Shit.
one of the islands near the Vishrad.
Yeah.
Was it Vampire Island? I don't think it was Vampire Island, but
I think it was Vampire Island.
was it?
I wanted to say Fuck Island, but that's not right.
Yeah.
No.
Like I wasn't there for Vampire Island, but I also don't remember him drinking.
You've never been to Fuck Island.
Yeah.
You've met people from there, but you've never
Said
been.
fuck that.
Only Magical Realm. That's the closest we're getting, apparently.
Yeah. Probably have. Figure it would have it on a chart somewhere.
It was
I think it was
the
Vampire Island.
lovely island of Ringstead Scary, aka yes, Vampire Island.
Hey.
Okay.
The one that was draining you guys' health the when you walked.
Right.
The one that I one-shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
It
one
was
on which
awesome.
I realized, oh shit, sharpshooter can be pretty good. Yeah. Interesting. Ugh. Perhaps I'll have to visit this island at one point. See if I can find a. Oh god, fake yawning made me real yawn.
Welcome
Guys,
to
we're
my
gonna have to ask you to
world.
stop that pretty soon.
It's not that easy, is it, David?
Shut up, Flint. Maybe I'll have to visit there.
I'll warn him about the life draining, you know.
Oh, you just have to find the heart and kill it with fire.
I mean, we killed it with stabbing, and that worked too, so.
Well, I am sure it does, but I am less equipped for stabbery and more for fire these days. And he gestures broadly to the craters outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
Saw that on my way
that
back
makes
in.
sense, yeah.
Actually, at one point, Christina might look to Bauer and then think a moment and then kind of like make a gesture with like thumb and forefinger, like holding a coin and kind of looking through it at him. And then tilting their head towards the old man.
Oh boy.
I mean, he'd know I already have it since I poked him with it once.
No. This is not the mumbly old guy
No.
who's
Oh.
talking to you.
But the chronomancy coins probably would have come up in Sadok's story, since
Yes.
that's where we got them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, fuck it, I'll mention that. You know, if you're just looking to get young again, we might be able to do something with chronomancy coins. I don't know. They have somewhat unpredictable results. I don't know if you want to risk it.
I would rather not.
Understandable.
Oh, I appreciate the offer.
Hmm.
So, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I don't know what to do with the four of you. Your priest seems noble enough. Your pirate bardic fellow, he could tell a hell of a story. And I can tell that he appreciates freedom. But the other two of you, I am less certain about. I will not gift Nolan to a group where I can only trust half of them.
That is fine by us. You have good family. I am sure you all can take care of it.
I do, don't I? I do. Oh, Elnrog, give them a few of the scrolls on their way out. They might find something useful in them.
But if the cult comes to try and take it, would you consider calling us? We simply do not want them to have it.
If they try and force it, perhaps, if I am unable to handle it myself.
Kristal will just give a nod.
Any more questions? Otherwise, I think I'll settle back down for my nap.
This looks like the effort. Oh, doesn't give a shrug.
Nope.
Rest well.
Thank you again for all your help.
No problem. He lies back down and falls asleep almost immediately. Yanrog steps up, kind of smiling faintly. Always nice to hear him actually say something nice about us. Come on then. I'll grab a couple of his scrolls out of storage for you.
I'm just follow him.
I'll meet you back on the ship. Pick up Clan.
All right.
Mhm.
She continues to be unconscious. You carry her back to the ship. Gently, I assume.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, you find, or well, you are given by Yanrog as he rustles through one of the scroll cases on the scribing station. A scroll of. You are given, I should say, a scroll of maze, a scroll of burst.
What?
What?
The last
You
one didn't come through.
roboted out.
Sunburst.
Aha.
One of imprisonment, and one of psychic scream.
Oh shit.
And that is all you are given.
Can we save the imprisonment for a certain devil?
I assume that's what you want it for.
That
Oh
seems
shit!
like use it.
I promised you a list of components for that, didn't I?
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
no rush. But again, if we have a scroll of imprisonment, I'm okay with not actually killing him.
Well, imprisonment gives him a save.
It's true.
Oh, damn.
Alrighty.
Well, guess we better focus on killing him as well then. Just for backup.
We gotta go find a
Yeah,
divination wizard to be our friend.
I'll hold on to the scrolls, presumably.
Mm,
Fine with me.
whoever wants them.
We have a friend that's divination wizard. We can work on this.
There is no divination wizard here.
No, no the Aventine guy
one
that we
back in
first met.
Aventine, yeah.
He's our friend.
Oh yeah. Him,
Shakira.
Professor Gearhart.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So Yanrog will lead you all back out. Sadok, you go ahead of them while Yanrog is pulling stuff out of the scribing station, and you get back to the ship ahead of everybody else. What would you like to do with the unconscious body of your former partner?
I'm assuming we have a spare room,
Yes.
since we used to have a shit ton of sharks on board.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll put her in a bed in a spare room.
You have beds for like 20 people on board the ship.
Right.
All right. You put her in a bed. Stick with her, or
Probably try to find a room like near a common area and just wait in the nearby
Okay.
common area.
fair enough. Alrighty. So the rest of you are escorted out by Yonrog. Alright. You didn't get what you came for. Are you going to go?
Yeah,
Or
we're
are you
gonna go.
going to tell me? Cool. Don't forget your sword of slaying underwater things.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's gonna be handy. What kind of
Somehow,
sword is it, by the way?
it is a rapier.
Nice.
It is a +2 rapier with that becomes a +3 and deals an extra 2d6 against anything underwater.
Nice.
And, ignores disadvantage of underwater weapons. Because fuck that
Kind of
shit.
would have presumed so, but
Yeah. Important to say out loud. It also requires attunement.
Of course.
Now, is that extra damage against something that's like lives underwater, or just anything that's been forced underwater?
Anything you are fighting underwater.
so if either of us are underwater, the user or the target.
Sure.
Okay. I don't know who should carry that. I think Bauer, actually. He does a lot more stabbing than the rest of us.
Yeah, I don't use that, so.
I mean, it takes attunement, so is anybody actually going to use it?
Let me check. Hold on.
Yeah, I gotta remember what I'm attuned to at the moment.
2.
Oh, I only have one attunement, but I don't use rapiers.
I feel like I should have at least 2 or 3 attunements, but I can't find.
I only have 2 at the moment. I have a couple other attunement requiring items that I'm not really using. A wand of lightning bolts and the ion stone that doesn't have anything in it.
Huh.
So I could use it, but at the same time, I do think Bauer would get more out of it because he does more stabbing.
There's so much stabbing.
Well, half the time I'm casting instead. Make people wait their turn.
Yeah, right.
Stab you? Just hold on.
I'll get there. There's plenty of this to go around. It's generally Zephyr Strike or Steel Wind Strike.
Yeah, I don't think I have much in the way of attunement, so I could probably hold on to it at least.
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Fun things that happen sometimes.
Nice.
Alright. Bauer picks up the rapier of slaying underwater things. Which despite despite what Jan Rog announced it as, does have a proper name. He just does not tell it to you. Um, and he starts walking you all out towards your ship. Don't forget your stuff. Don't forget your toothbrushes. Remember to write. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
You really need to work on your tourism slogans.
Meh. Tourism is overrated. We have a grandpa who can invalidate the global economy overnight. Who needs tourism?
Point. Get back aboard the ship.
Alrighty. So you guys hop aboard the ship, and yeah. Farewell, Wizard Island. We hardly knew ye.
We only set foot in the magical realm. Didn't even interact with any orc fuckers or tentacle enthusiasts.
Save it for the post session. You guys hop on board the ship. Do you want to leave?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Next island.
You take off from the island. Yanrog gives you a few nonchalant waves and then starts walking back to the village. And leaves you guys to take off and fly to wherever the fuck you're going next.
Yeah, who even knows? Well, I assume other places on the dowsing rod.
Yeah, the next island to the south of us.
Though, while they're on the ship, Christona might go find Sadok and ask him whether he wants any help with like greater restoration or anything like that for his friend.
I mean, as far as I know, she's fine. Just
I can make a medicine check.
so can I actually.
Go ahead.
God damn, will suck.
You're reasonably, Sadok is reasonably confident that she's just somehow exhausted from having the imprisonment spell broken.
Mm-hmm.
She'll
Well-
wake up in due time.
Yeah. I can get rid of exhaustion, though.
You certainly can. She's basically just long resting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
probably better to let nature take its course.
We were not expecting that from you.
Well, there's no rush at the moment. It's not like her skin is in the wrong place.
That is fair. You're certain, Sadok.
For the moment. I'll keep an eye on things. Let you know if the situation changes.
Okay. Making sure he's telling the truth and he's okay.
What? Yeah. That was like the best thing to happen in weeks.
Mm-hmm. Gulp.
And I didn't have to turn myself inside out to make it happen.
That's true.
That's the spirit.
Then I'm going up to the crow's nest.
All right. Mountain next. Or where are you guys heading? What are you doing?
Mountain was next closest, right?
Yeah, I think the plan was to just hit them in order.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Alrighty. Let me just reshuffle which maps are archived and which aren't. And
How long will it take to fly to the island?
2 days.
Okay.
2 days to reach a point where you can actually land on it. It's visible from where you set off. It's a big mountain. Alrighty. So, you guys take off. After about 8 hours of flying, Sadok, you hear faint noises coming from the room where you left Calantha.
Go in on checking her.
She is awake, a little bit groggy, holding a hand to her stomach. She looks up at you as you enter. You're the one who was writing messages to me.
Yes. How are you feeling?
Alive. Better than I ever expected to feel. Thank you.
The least I could do.
I don't mean to be a bother, but could I have some food? I have not eaten in literally years.
Of course.
And then you can tell me who you are, not through notepad written notes.
Yes, should be a bit easier this way. I'll take her to the kitchen or galley or whatever the fuck we have.
Galley.
And then yeah, just gonna talk with her while she eats. Basically give her the cliff notes on how we met, our time together with the church.
She asks questions periodically throughout, but mostly focusing on just devouring any food that's put in front of her. After she's finally eaten her fill, she leans back in her chair. I'm sorry that I don't remember any of this.
Not really your fault.
No. Still feels bad to have somebody sit across from me and tell me about the great life we had and not remember a bit of it, though.
Actually, Cristona might be able to help.
Who's that?
Take Clantha. One of my companions on the ship, lead her and go find Cristona. I wonder if greater restoration or something similar might help.
Probably being a bird for a bit.
She does that sometimes.
Fun goal.
Alright. You can head up on deck and wave down Cristona.
Yep. Just roll out of a wild shape onto the deck. Oh, your friend is awake.
Yes. We already knew this, of course, but she's lost her memory. I was thinking back to the conversation we had earlier. Do you think you can do anything magic-wise to help? Probably grab Realm while we're at it and ask her too.
Potentially a curse. Is there any way to
Maybe.
check that? Or like what it might be?
Arcana check?
Yeah, I might need realm for that one, but I can try.
You're not sure.
I'll go grab Realm.
Why, yes, Digroy, it is dang near perfect for this.
Right?
What a
Surprise,
funny
surprise.
thing! What a funny thing that you should bring up.
Yeah. I've used it successfully in very different campaigns. I do not believe it is on the druid list.
It's on the art list.
Yep. But if that's what happens, Greater Restoration fixes it, so...
Does it?
Yeah. It says remove Curse or Greater Restoration spell cast on the target restores the creature's true memory.
Oh, sure does. Too bad you aren't sure if it's
Yeah, I'm not sure.
modified memory or curse.
No
I
fucking
will
idea.
grab both Realm and Diggeroy to check some Arcana.
Arcana checks all around.
You'd probably want someone with memory spells for this.
Oh, fuck!
Well,
We're
Spell
dumb
power?
as
What can you
fuck.
tell us?
Realm's smart. This is just apparent. She's apparently just completely blank.
Can I give her my inspiration?
You do have inspiration.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her my inspiration to There we go.
Yeah, atta girl.
Somebody had to roll above a fucking 15.
Just say good job, Bauer.
apparently not good enough.
Yeah. Realm pipes up. Sounds like it's just a modified memory spell. Maybe. Hopefully. You remove a curse or use a greater restoration on her, and she'll be just fine.
Kristona? I think that's right in your wheelhouse.
We do not have a wheelhouse, but... And then we'll just start taking out some diamond dust and walk over. No, like, look over Calantha. Is this all right?
Yes.
Give a nod and sprinkle the diamond dust over and cast Greater Restoration.
Alright. You can almost hear the sound of something shattering in her, some sort of lock shattering in her brain as as the Greater Restoration as the Greater Restoration, works its magic on her. She looks up. Her entire expression changes to something a little bit much more intense. And she looks directly at Sadok and gives him a nod, and then curses under her breath. Sadok, it is very good to see you. Thank you very much, Kristona. Oh,
Thumbs up.
Sadok, we need to kill him.
That sounds like the Calantha I know.
Yep. She gets up and walks over to Sadok, staring him down the entire way, and then gives him a big fucking hug. It persists for a couple of moments, and then she lets go and steps back. Thanks for coming to get me, partner.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
Just kind of in awe of someone who likes Sudoku that much.
Hey.
Well, so he told me about the group of you. You're Cristona. You must be Realm, which means you must be Diggerwai, which means there must be a Bower drinking somewhere or hiding somewhere.
Probably the former.
All right,
You can do both at once.
true enough. All right. Oh. So, do you have a plan to kill?
Working on one.
Good. I want to be there when it happens. If you don't
We
let me
can,
be there, if you don't let me be there when it happens, I will stab you.
Noted.
Now it makes more sense.
And you know I'll do it.
Yes. Very aware.
She just gives him a grin.
Also, his name is Chucklefucker.
Honestly, as good a name as any for him. Chucklefucker. I like it. I do.
Everyone's got to be on the same page for this.
Well, I'm gonna chuckle quite a bit when I face fuck him with one of my knives.
Intense.
Yeah, that sounds like the Clanthi now.
I'm so glad.
Kristona's just was surprised and then just not surprised anymore at all.
So, what's the mission? Right now, anyway.
At the moment, trying to track down pieces of Nolan's ghost, sort of, before the cult gets to him.
Alright. How can I help?
Good question. We're about to head to the next island that has one. No idea what's waiting for us there yet.
Well, let me know when we get there. Until then, I'm going to keep eating, and then I'm going to sleep like the dead. And then just maybe work out a bit. Is there anywhere to spar or work out on this ship?
Not really. It's a ship.
Hmm.
Probably clear some space on the deck to spar.
Try not to fall off.
or push anybody off.
I mean, there is
Well,
Realm
you
and
look-
Sophia. Maybe we
me.
can get ourselves a holodeck.
I'll just grab a bit of a corner on deck somewhere then, if you don't mind.
Well, she seems fun.
Yep.
We had questions, but they have been answered.
I'm not sure how to take that.
So she's the same kind of cleric as you?
Pretty much. Same kind of priest I am, at least. Neither of us are really much in the way of actual cleric business.
Yes. I had picked up on that. Although she seems to favor knives and or short swords.
Knives, mostly.
They certainly have style.
Is she coming Nolan hunting with us?
Possibly? Sure.
If you guys want her to.
Because I was just curious. Whether to prepare some more healing spells or...
From a metagame standpoint, I can't think of a reason why we wouldn't. That
Yeah.
isn't metagamey.
Besides the fact that she's very out of practice.
Yeah, we'll have to.
She has been imprisoned for. I mean, technically, imprisonment just keeps you in ultimately state. Like, she's not any older than she was before she last saw Sadok.
Mm-hmm.
No, not for nothing. That would make her level what? 3?
Yeah.
I mean, she would have been stronger than Sadok, but I don't know if she would be level 13.
She's also been standing around inside a gem for how long?
Well, I think that was his point. Not really standing, just sort of locked up in there, not sleeping, even.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's more not being able to keep the skills sharp. Because she was at least awake the entire time.
Yep. Well, awake.
Yeah, quote unquote. Next island. But how much longer do we have till then? It's just been, is it a couple days?
It's been about 8 hours since you left the last island. You've got a day and a half of sailing until you reach Caradris.
Okay. I might go and see if Realm or Sophia need any help with anything.
No, they do pass off a something they finished a while ago and kind of forgot to give is the goggles of seeing souls
Oh.
that you guys asked for at one point.
Shit, what was that in response to?
There was a question about Warforged having souls.
Oh, right. Neat. Well, take that and bring it back to the group. Also, I'm totally trying it.
You slide them onto your face. And you can see people's souls.
Is this ship haunted?
It is not.
Damn, that would have been amazing.
I'm really curious what would happen if you look at Cristona. With
Oh,
that.
shit, yeah.
Does Cristona look at themselves?
I don't know if they can. Well, I guess, down, but...
Yeah. You slide on the goggles. The first person you see, there is a sudden around who would it be? Say Realm probably, or Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
You see a bluish flame-like aura begin to flare around them, presumably to indicate that they do in fact have souls.
Is their power level over 9,000?
Sorry, this is not a scouter.
It'd be amazing, though.
This just lets you know if things have souls. It does not tell you what their power level is. Till then, you'll just have to assume that everybody's sitting at a power level of 5.
Well, I'm gonna go around looking at everything then. Come back to the deck to show people.
All right. Well, you eventually wander off. Ramus has an aura. Ramus's looks, in contrast to Realm and Sophia's, like bright, almost sky blue. Ramus has a dark navy-colored aura around him. That's more or less the same color as his cloak. And he gives you a nod as he spots you wandering around with goggles on your face. Bauer has a bright red aura around himself whenever you find him. These do not require attunement, by the way.
Sweet.
Bauer has a bright red one.
There's a cream for that.
My instinct is to say that Diggeroy has a yellowish one? I don't know why. And Sudoku has a green one. As does Calanthe, but it's tinged with little flecks of red.
Mm-hmm.
So red means awesome. Got it.
Yes, red means badass.
If that's how you choose to interpret it.
No, this is truth. This is how the world works. I will it, therefore it is.
Okay, so Red Ranger, Green Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Blue Rangers.
Green with red polka dots ring.
Really stretching that. The burnt umber ranger, really, really. I think this show has gone on too long.
Why don't you take him off and offer him to...
Sounds like a
Anyway, try.
shitty Family Guy joke. The burnt umber ranger.
The chartreuse
Hey,
ranger.
remember that time I got really drunk and went out with the burnt umber ranger? I don't know.
The aubergine ranger.
Yeah,
There's
aubergine.
shitty cutaway here.
Okay, just gonna hold him out. Everyone else wants to try.
Anybody else want to use the goggles that let you see souls?
Sure, just so we can hear what happens when you look at Christona.
Everybody else has kind of like a single unified little aura. Or not little, but single unified like aura that shows their soul.
Also,
Christona
actually, did Sadok have another one because of Nolan?
Yes, I just realized that as I was about to describe yours. Sadok has another one. Sadok has another one in addition to his green. He has another one that's almost a faint, almost a light purple color. That's primarily focused around his head.
So he's the Hulk. Got it. Purple and green.
Sure. You're the Hulk now, Sadok. Bear this badge. Bear this badge carefully.
We have a Sadok.
When you look at Christona, you see what look like what looks like just where everybody else has like a single aura. Christona has just hundreds of the fucking things everywhere, all over their body, of varying color and shade and hue, but they average out to like a mixture of dark purple and like brownish gray colors. Their souls are less individual color and more like a mottled color of fungus.
I was just thinking there's so many colors that just turned brown like you do when you mix paint.
Yeah. And somewhere deep within there, there's little flashes of what look like an orangish color just popping in and out. And you can see little cartoon script hee-hees floating off of her wherever the orange flashes come up.
Wait, I missed that part.
You have little cartoon script hee-hees coming off of you wherever little orange flashes show up in your tapestry.
That's amazing.
Take a wild guess which part of it Nolan is.
Surprise, surprise.
Cool.
You will be able to answer Manak now, Degorai.
Indeed. I don't know if I'm going to want to, but we'll find out.
Well, they are there should you choose to use them. You have a lot of things that that are there should you choose to use them, and you don't.
Mostly because we tend to forget.
Yes. Like how you guys have a ring of foresight that you've literally never used.
Mm.
Ring of Four who?
Which is kind of my point that I'm not.
Fuck, where'd we get that? I can't remember anymore.
Who has it?
Yeah, who?
A very good question. Who has it?
It's not listed in my sheet.
I don't have a note about that. I would absolutely have written that down.
You have a sweet bag of wild magic drugs that I have literally no idea where you got.
I don't remember. I just know I actually wrote it down.
Which is like on brand for a bag of wild magic drugs to be.
Shit, I don't know where that ring of foresight is because I don't remember that.
I thought.
You got
I
it.
think we got it from the arena, same as the wild
Oh.
magic drug. And I
You
thought
did.
Digroy took it.
Hmm.
I don't have a note vaguely resembling that.
Well,
I mean,
we're gonna go with you guys lost it along the way.
Oh
Just 'cause
shit!
apparently-
Aw.
Because nobody wrote it down, and it's been like 6 months in game.
Ring. I have Zephyr. And
Somebody has it. It's
definitely
somebody.
not me, because I would definitely use that all the time.
Well, somebody has it. It's a ring of foresight. It recharges once a month, and it gives you foresight. You can cast foresight out of it without needing to make any sort of check.
there we
It
go.
recharges every month.
Jeez. Damn, we could have definitely used that.
It was empty when you got it because
he
he'd
used
used
it.
it on himself.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody has it.
I have a ring of evasion.
Got
It's
it.
definitely recharged by now.
Neat.
You guys can fight over who wants it if you want, or we can proceed onwards.
Yep, still not it.
I mean, I'll take it, but
Yeah, same. Does it require attunement?
No.
Should probably just rotate that because anybody can use it.
that's true.
So who's gonna need it the most this week,
This month.
this month? Meant this session, but yeah.
I mean, at this point in the session, probably none of us.
Yeah.
You never know. Do, 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 do.
You never know. Do 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 do.
Farewell, sweet bases of places that I'd properly map. Yeah. All right. You guys ready to continue onwards? towards the lovely mountain of Caradras.
Sure.
Wasn't that?
Sorry?
Isn't that the name of the mountain that the Fellowship tried to go over?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was in the middle of the ocean. Thought it was
Once
in
again,
a mountain.
I have no idea what you're on about.
Yeah. Let's just go before rocks fall and everyone dies. This is the the wildlands.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but we're like in the air. But yeah, wildlands.
Wildlands. That does remind me, though. Somebody roll me a d20.
Oh boy.
Not it.
Not it.
Power got it.
Not with the
Oh,
way I've
got
been
it.
rolling.
Come on, you rolled great on that inspiration dice, which actually did get you a success with with Archmage Rog. Fuck you, Microsoft Word. Open up.
Nope.
Why are you like this? I will see you perish along with your entire family upon the slopes of Caradras.
That escalated quickly.
Meh. What's the point of not escalating things quickly?
That's fair.
Oh boy. Everybody roll me a d9.
Oh boy.
Okay, I will roll your impossible dice.
Hell yeah, you will.
Well,
So why do you need random alignments?
It's not alignment. Eh,
Figuring out which of the 9 hells you're gonna get sent to.
nope. Cristona, for the next day, all writing appears to be something very different and completely mundane. They all appear to be recipes for chicken pot pie.
okay.
What else we got? Sadok, a blade formed out of shadows swings at you from out of a corner.
Rude.
Does a 21 hit you?
Yep.
Cool. You take a solid 2d8 damage,
Ouch.
14 damage.
Like wild magic.
No,
It's not done
nobody
good
does.
things for me recently.
You
Et
did
tu,
try.
Brute?
You tried to break the laws of magic. What did you expect?
Be rewarded?
You kind of were.
No.
I mean, it all worked out. It's fine.
Diggeroy, you are dimension doored to the into one of the cargo holds of the ship from wherever you happen to be standing at the time. This causes, because I presume you're at the helm, the entire ship to the entire ship to start listing a little bit. Or make a con save.
Well,
Okay, make another one. Yeah, it's good enough. For about 18 seconds, you are struck by horrible, crippling pain. And then it just fades.
well, someone caught a cold.
That was weird.
You rolled, everybody gets a random spell effect. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. All right. But after that, you arrive at the slopes of Caradros. So, you start coming up to this enormous fucking mountain. It looks extremely high. Higher than any mountain you guys have seen before. It also has a perpetually swirling storm around its peak that occasionally launches forked bolts of lightning down to the ground. At the feet of the mountain, you can see the remnants of old ships that have been shipwrecked here over the years. And there are occasional faint traces of movement, but it's difficult to make out anything more than that from your aerial perch as you survey the massive mountain.
Start circling around, look for somewhere we can set down.
Okay. You sorry. You spy a few. You don't spy many like flat places of ground where it would be ideal to land in the air. The mountain is almost entirely sloped. You do spy a few places that would be ideal to land to anchor a water-going ship. Most of them have existing shipwrecks in them, but you're reasonably confident that they won't do any damage to the Falcon.
Okay. Very cautiously approach one of those. I want to get closer and see if there's anything in the water before I set down, though.
Okay. Sorry. So, you make a perception check for me, please. You do not spot anything in the water. You are quite sure that there is nothing in the water near where where you're looking at setting down.
Okay. Go ahead and set down.
All right. As you set down in the water and start to tie down onto the island, onto the mountain, I would like all of you to please make perception checks for me.
Da-da-da. Okay. Boom.
Alrighty. So, you sit down, and from in and amongst the shipwreck, and from some scattered foliage just above the line of collected sand at the bottom of this mountain, you see a group of elves materialize, each of them carrying bows. They look very cautiously at the group of you as you come into dock. They're not quite pointing their bows at you, but they have arrow to string holding.
As we're coming in, Christina might want to ask for the goggles back for now. They want to borrow them.
Go for it.
And we'll put those on. Because a bunch of elves did materialize, and now I'm curious.
Materialize in the sense of they came out of hiding.
Okay.
They did not literally teleport in.
Okay. They all have souls.
Yes.
Okay.
They all have souls.
Like it's not an illusion, that's basically.
Yeah. They're elves that came out of hiding.
Okay.
They look at you all as you come into dock, but they do not speak first.
Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Permission to weigh anchor here?
What do you want?
We're looking for a lost soul.
That's our business, not yours. Caradras isn't welcoming to outsiders. Any of you speak Elvish?
Yes.
Cool.
Hey, look, I do too.
Cool. This is the land of one listless meditation on cold and hunger. He shouts in Elvish at the ship.
The land of one listless in cold and hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a reference I get?
Make a history check. Nope.
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 I'll look at Christina.
Looks even more perplexed.
This is Elven land. If you wish to dock and land here, you will pay tribute.
What kind of tribute?
Otherwise, gold, goods, food. Winter is coming. We have need.
Hmm.
I mean, Bauer, you do look good enough for them to eat.
Let me look up.
I mean, if they want to try it,
How much can I? No, 12. Nope, not enough. Because Hero's Feast would be interesting. But there are a lot of them, aren't there?
There are significantly more of them than are here on this.
That makes sense. Do we bring that cornucopia? Because they haven't needed it in the island for a while since they started being able to grow things.
Nobody mentioned bringing it.
I don't think we would have brought it on this ship either.
What have we been using? Just supplies.
Just regular galley food. We have cash.
Yeah.
I mean, I could make a decent chunk of good berries. It's probably not enough.
We can offer healing for anyone injured.
These will have to suffice. Welcome. Anchor your ship. Follow us. Come to Caradris.
I feel like every time you say Karajas just needs to have like a lightning strike in the background or some
I'm
kind
doing my best to time it. Do not leave the path. It is dangerous here.
dangerous everywhere.
Do not run. Come aboard. Come ashore and follow us.
If nobody minds, I'm going to burn the Ring of Foresight this round.
That's fair.
All right. Make an advantage perception check then, Diggeroy. Cool. From underneath, a few seconds before anybody else notices it, you hear a clicking and then a slight screech from beneath the ship that is wrecked on the shore. And something bursts from beneath the floorboards into the middle of the group of elves. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
I'm sorry, what? Oh dear. Oh, that happened.
Yep.
This one will probably take a little bit more time than the last island.
Apparently.
I don't want to start with or quite keep it going like that. Yeah. Alrighty.
We survived your magical island.
You survived a magical realm, yep.
Look, this is what you get when I have to come up with names half an hour before session.
Really now.
You get orc fuckers and tentacle enthusiasts.
What have you been looking at before session, David?
Look, it makes sense in context.
Sure.
Does it?
Does it?
Yeah!
What kind of context is that?
Is that
The
it's a
kind of
magical realm? We got it!
The kind of context where you only saw like an eighth of the island.
Yeah, we didn't even get to, like, the water sports section of the island.
No shaming.
We're not king shaming your magical realm, David. But Phoebe gave me such a look. It's only fair we get to see her magical realm. We already have one, her name. She stays on the ship most of the time, though.
You're in the complete wrong direction, but okay.
No,
I've been
she's
trying to
literally
work
our
in that
magical
joke.
realm.
Oh god. I hate you.
No, you don't.
Are you sure?
I am not the literal worst yet, so I'm hoping not.
We might have to reconsider that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to fight her for that one then.
That's fine.
You guys can spar or something. After dealing with
Yeah, but the fight's gonna be like a pun fight, so
Oh, you'll probably win that.
I would love that.
Oh, you definitely win that.
What was the name of the mountain again?
Her address. Like Sidok so aptly mentioned the mountain in Lord of the Rings that the Fellowship tries to go over before getting forced into Moria.
I totally did not recognize the name of that mountain. I'm usually pretty good at catching Lord of the Rings references.
I needed a name for a mountain, and it was the first one that came to mind.
I mean, it's a good name.
Yeah.
It's better. It's better than the mountain in Helgedomer, which is just mountain.
That's fair.
no.
I mean, there's a lot of mountains, like even in the real world, that essentially translate to mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
actually know a doctor named Doctor, so
That's awesome.
Well, the reason there's so many rivers in England named Avon
Yes.
is because that's Bryantic Celtic for
River.
river. It's the river.
And like pretty much every major desert translates to desert.
Yep.
Yep.
Aren't these things so fun? We're learning.
It's violent and educational. But mostly violent. Yay, violence.
Just to be clear, the thing that's coming up under a ship, is that coming up from under our ship or a
No, the wrecked ship.
Okay.
Cool. Oh.
So there's
okay.
this fucking wrecked ship over here that a bunch of elves are standing on. Something's coming up from underneath them and fucking them up.
You know, it took me a sec to realize those are top-down views and thought those were really weird looking up.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So all the elves can get fucked by the AoE and not us. That's fine.
I'm going to allow it. I think I have the nomination this week. I'm
Yes.
gonna go with Sadok.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
For reasons.
General good play with the finding the lost friend.
All right, congratulations, Calante.
All right. Should probably write
Alrighty.
that down, but I'm not going to.
Write down the F4 site. That's the thing you want to write down.
That I
Yeah,
wrote
that's the
down.
one you wanna.
Good.
That is the important thing.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
See you.
Good night.
I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder.